The American dream, becoming a homeowner, having a piece of property that belongs to you. It's freedom, it's independence. Homes are super expensive, hundreds of thousands of dollars. But in the early 2000s, something weird started happening in the United States. I mean, tons of people started to qualify for homes that didn't qualify to buy a home. Why? Because they didn't have the money. Somehow, some way, banks thought, let's just make it happen. Besides, the value of homes are going up, so these people are going to make wealth from it. We're going to get benefited from it. Everyone's going to get benefit from this all around. Nothing bad can really happen. Needless to say, we saw exactly what did happen. It caused a huge crisis, a worldwide crisis, and it all came back down to some greed and a simple fact that you should not be selling to people who do not qualify. This episode is brought to you in part by Sales Success Summit. If you're a sales rep and you're looking for ways to improve your skills, you want to learn from the top 1% of sellers, you need to attend Sales Success Summit. The event is held this year, October 14th through 15th in Austin, Texas. To find more information, visit the show notes or go to top1summit.com. Again, top1summit.com. This episode is also brought to you in part by TSE Certified Sales Training Program. Learn how to find more ideal customers, build stronger value, close more deals. There are 12 modules available in the program. The first 2 modules are absolutely free. Test them out for yourself. Go to thesalesevangelist.com/free course. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And as you heard on a teaser, we're going to talk about the great hoax. More specifically, how this ties to what happened in 2008 with what sales leaders are facing today and how you need to make sure you don't fall to this prey or this hoax, this lie. We'll talk about that in one second, but today's my birthday, August 13th, so I want to tell you, if you want to give me a good birthday gift, I ask that you go on Apple Podcast and leave us a rating and review. I would truly appreciate that. I know a lot of you listening to the show, and I know you're busy, and I know you're listening to several podcasts. I know I'm one of your favorite shows and your host, but I want to see it. I don't get a chance to talk to you guys too much, so go and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. I'll be sure to go on there and read a few of them and get a chance to connect with you. You can also go ahead and message me if you want to on LinkedIn, Donald C. Kelly. You can find me there and wish me a happy birthday. But I would really like for you guys to give us a rating and review. You're probably saying, Donald, why do you want that? Well, here's how it works. The more ratings, the more reviews we have, the more chances of our podcast getting high up in the rankings whenever someone is searching for a sales podcast. You like the content. Of course, they're going to love it too, especially when they see a testimony from somebody else like you. The good thing about that as well is that it helps us to reach many more sellers throughout the world. And our goal is to help millions of salespeople improve their game. So if you want to leave a birthday gift for me, I would truly appreciate that. So let's go back to this now, the great hoax. What am I talking about with the housing crisis? How does this tie to sales? Well, it came down to several things, but I'm going to point out only 2 on this particular episode. One of them was greed, and the second one was not qualifying people correctly. Bankers wanted to get more mortgage so they can go back and sell these mortgage on the secondary market. So greed, make more money. The other problem with this was people weren't qualified that they were getting. Since you want to get the numbers, they're going to do whatever it takes to get as many people through the door as possible, so to speak. Now, with a lot of these people not having the capability of taking care of these mortgages, when the time came for the prices to go up and all of these different things with the homes and to pay back, they couldn't. And they fell short and eventually lost their homes, and it just caused this huge effect, this huge problem. As a sales leader, you have a situation that you get faced with oftentimes. You need to bring in the dollars. That's what it comes down to. We're judged based on how much money we can help the company make. Naturally, we want our sales reps to have deals in the pipeline. As many deals as possible would be great. This is where the hoax come in place, where sales reps start to have what we call Anthony Iannarino points it out. He says sales reps will start having leads in later stages in the pipeline and mask them as opportunities. So the reason why these deals aren't closing is because you have someone sitting in a demo stage or maybe in a proposal stage that was never truly qualified, or they never really had a pain, or they don't have the money, or they don't have a time frame. So now you're working with a lead, someone who's just investigating, doing their research, just window shopping. These people now are sitting in your 75% stage of your sales process. You're taking these numbers and you're working with them. You have, maybe say you have 50 of these deals sitting in the pipeline, and maybe only 10 of them are truly qualified. Your sales reps are just putting as many people in there as possible because you told them just add opportunities, add opportunities. The quality will start to decrease if they're not focused, on adding real opportunities as opposed to just lead. Now, what will happen, just like in a housing crisis, you bring these numbers, you present them to your higher ups, to the VPs, and then they make decisions based on these potential revenue sources. Now, when times come, this revenue isn't coming in, and then you look bad. Unfortunately, the company looks bad. The VP looks bad. And eventually somebody's going to get fired. It may not lead to a catastrophic crisis like in 2008. However, it might cause a crisis within your organization. And I know some of you have parameters and things for that, but that is the hoax that I've seen that happen to sales leaders often. They're deceived by sales reps who put on costumes on a lead and try to sell that as an opportunity. So as a leader, how can you make sure that your sales reps truly understand? Now, you can yell at them and you can scream, but that's not really going to do much. It just doesn't work. What I recommend that you do in a situation like this is to continue to educate them, consistent education. And we've hit up on several of these already throughout the month and throughout the past episodes. The one-on-one coaching time with your sales rep is critical. Well, even before that, let's back up. You have to have a distinct definition of what a lead is versus what an opportunity is, and what individuals go to which stage, and what must happen before that person goes to the next stage. I know some of you might think, well, sales reps should know this stuff, or we went over this in initial training, or went over this in orientation, or it's in our sales playbook. But if it's not reiterated, if it's not taught, if it's not brought up in company meetings, what will happen is that the quality of your leads will start to erode, start to deteriorate. Now, this may not happen overnight, and it may not be that all of a sudden your qualified leads come down from 100% qualified to all of them being a 25% qualified. What will happen though, it may start to slip. You might have some leads that they say, this is an 80% qualified. I'm still going to count it. I'm moving forward to 75%. This is 60%. I think this one could work, so I'm going to put it over there. But gradually over time, if it's not managed, if it's not watched, then your internal culture will start to just put whatever in there because the sales leaders are demanding that we get the proper number, that we just get the numbers, not necessarily the proper numbers, just get the numbers. So one, identifying what is a lead, someone who has interest. Now, an opportunity, someone who has interest, maybe they have the budget, maybe they have a specific time frame, maybe they're part of the decision-making team. Obviously, we know that now more than ever. Maybe you have a real good consensus, you have a pure challenge that they're facing, and you have a clear solution. If you can identify these things, obviously, these are simple things that you can use in the qualification step, but it's not necessarily you don't have to sit there and bat the buyer and ask them all of these questions in interrogation, but you can feel these things out. You can get this information in doing wonderful discoveries, or you can get this information out by just having a business conversation. Perhaps you find out your sales reps just don't know how to ask the right questions. Maybe they don't know how to sound professional, or don't have the business acumen to talk to a VP or to talk to someone who's over operations. So they're just doing whatever and becoming subservient and just being order takers. How can I help you today? Besides having this qualifying mechanism in place where everyone knows exactly what a lead is and an opportunity and when to graduate someone from one stage to another, having that system down, having that as a chart that they can print out and have on their desk, even if they've been selling for 40 years, having that stuff there is going to give them a constant reminder, and it's going to help your culture to focus on quality. You're also going to talk about this in your one-on-one. You're going to discuss with them, see where these deals are, and you're going to interrogate them when they tell you, hey, I have a new deal. Find out from them, do they have these things to make sure that they qualify as a deal? If they don't be afraid. Tell them, go fix it, go put it back, go get the information. Role play with them about asking the critical questions, having business conversation. Take some of the senior sellers who are great at this and have her or him to demonstrate in one of your weekly training session or your weekly sales meeting. and point out and show what should happen or how they go about getting this proper information so they can have more qualified opportunities. When it all comes down to it, if you're doing these things, you're going to protect yourself. You're not going to fall to that hoax. And your team, everyone's going to be on the same page. I had a client, and one of the things that I saw that their organization did was exactly that. It was really just all around order taking. How can we get as anything at all possible was taken and thrown in as an opportunity? The biggest issue was that sales rep weren't following up on these opportunities. They were just sitting there, and it was cankering the pipeline. And you're probably thinking, where in the world were the sales leaders? Well, this was a small company, and the business owner was the sales leader. So it caused that there was an inflation of so many opportunities, and some of them were really good opportunities, but they just weren't qualified. The sales rep weren't asking the tough questions. They weren't being they didn't have accountability, and it was just like the wild, wild west. So the numbers obviously looked crazy at the end of each quarter. Now, when they started putting these same things in place that I'm telling you about, it made a huge shift in their culture and organization. They could have more predictability with the numbers. These were accurate numbers now. And also the sales reps were closing more deals and they felt more comfortable and confident. And all around, it just made that this organization started to function better. And the interesting thing was they started to see more qualified leads come down the pipe because sales reps knew what to look for and how to do it. Highly recommend it. If you want to go back into the show notes, you can find all the details there. But again, 1, have definitions about lead and opportunity. 2, make sure you guys have one-on-ones with your sales reps and you need to interrogate them. 3, do trainings on how to ask the proper questions to get these deals that are right, to get these leads, I should say, into the right stage that they become real deals and real opportunities. And if they're not, be brave enough to take them out. You don't want to have bad numbers in your pipeline. I share this stuff with you because I want to help you. I want you guys to be better leaders. I want you as a sales rep to be better reps. I want you to find more ideal customers. I want you to build stronger value. I want you to close more deals. But most importantly, I want to challenge you each and every single day to go out and do big things. Hey, thank you so much for checking out our show today. I truly appreciate it. And if you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you listen to find podcasts. Show your friends, your colleagues how they can subscribe. That would be truly appreciated. This month is my birthday. It would be an awesome gift. Our show today was produced by myself and the Sales Podcast Network. It was edited and mixed together by the one and only Jershon O'Bale. Our guest correspondent is May Marr. Our amazing artworks are created by Dessen. Our show note were created by Rael. And our podcast production manager is Mrs. Shannon Rasmussen. You can find audio credits in each of our show notes. And as always, I am your host, your coach, your mentor, your guide down the sales journey, Mr. Donald C. Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. Sales Podcast Network.